Hey, long time no see. I'm back with a brand new tutorial on getting to know me, Sonic the Hedgehog. Or, you know, how to get more stocks off your opponents or whatever. Now, unlike my last tutorial I made a while back, I split this one into 3 categories: basics, finishing moves, and tricks. Of course, if you don't want to hear all about my basic moves and you just want to learn more about the advanced parts, then click one of the adaptations right here, or one of the time skips located in the description below. With that being said, let's hit it!
Try to reach inside me, try to drain my energy.
Oh yeah! I can't wait to get started! I've gotten a lot stronger, so scoring knockouts should be a piece of cake now. So let's cut to the chase and get right to it! Down tilt. It's a pretty good close-range knockback attack. If you hit your opponents with this move more than once, it will cause them to trip. Up tilt. It has a pretty short range, but makes a good setup for aerial attacks. Forward tilt. This move has a pretty good reach when you want to get some good knockback distance from someone right in your face. Jabs. A series of 3 small attacks. You can use this to score a few extra hits, knock your opponents away for a bit, or cancel most attack animations. Rush attack. Pretty good for both damage racking and knockback. The instant dash is a mini short dash with a sweet kick at the end. Be careful, it can leave you wide open to attacks if your opponent sees it coming. Down air. A pretty strong drop kick that can be used to fall faster from high in the air and deal some pretty good damage. If you use this move from a certain height, you won't get stuck in the lock animation when you hit the ground. Also, if you time it just right near the ledge of a stage, you can spike your opponents with it. Just be careful where you use this move or else. Now there is a way out, but I'll give you more of the details later in the video. Up air. Combined with a short hop, it's good for dealing with opponents that jumps a lot. It's also good for racking up some extra follow-up damage after performing one of the dash attack moves, and it makes for a great finishing move as well. I'll get into more detail about how to pull one of those off in the next segment. Forward air. Another good follow-up move for one of the dash attacks. It's okay at racking up damage on its own, but it's also really good for ledge guarding and finishing off your opponents off stage. Back air. In terms of power, this move packs a real kick, pun intended. It's like an air attack equivalent of forward smash, minus the charge and if you can somehow punch backwards in the air. If you get your opponents near the edge of a stage at 120% damage or higher, you can knock them out with a well-placed kick. It's even great at finishing the job off stage too. There is one more way you can get an early knockout with this move, but I'll get to that part real soon. Neutral air. You can get some decent knockback when combined with a short hop. It's also good for dealing with opponents rolling behind you, negate certain projectiles, and use it as another follow-up for one of the dash attack moves. Down throw. It's great for scoring some extra damage while knocking your opponents away. You can even toss them off stage when you're at the edge, but not very far. Up throw. If you toss your opponent straight in the air early in the match, you can score some extra hits with a short hop to up air while they can't move from the stun damage. But when their damage reaches 40% or so, try following it up with a homing attack to score an extra hit. But you gotta be quick though before the stun wears off and they can spot dodge out of it. Forward throw. It's okay for knocking out your opponents with 200% damage or higher, but other than some knockback into the air, there's not much use for it. Back throw. Like most back throws, you can toss your opponents off stage to set up for a ledge guarding strategy. You might also get a KO if your opponent's damage is around 175% at the edge of the stage. Forward smash. Now let me just address the elephant in the room. Forward smash is no doubt my most strongest attack. That being said, it's also my second most commonly used and predictable attack. If used wisely, you can be very effective for catching them off guard and taking them out. But if you get too careless and just randomly spam the attack, it not only loses its initial strength, but you'll leave yourself wide open to counterattacks. Remember, save your best move for when they really count. Down Smash. This move is really great for dealing some powerful knockback damage when they get too close, and opponents that have a fetish for rolling behind you. If their damage is around 120% or higher and you're at the edge of a stage, you can take them out with this move. Up Smash. It has an even shorter range than the up tilt, but it can rack up a lot of damage and can even knock out your opponents at a high enough percentage. Down B and Side B. They're pretty much the same moves aside from their startup and how they react in the air. You probably know enough about my iconic spin dash, so I'll keep it brief. Now we all know how the spin dash works, but just in case, tapping the B button multiple times will make it last longer. However, if you release the thumbstick just as the animation starts up, it will stop abruptly. The side dash, on the other hand, works a little bit differently. This move only lasts for as long as you hold down the B button. When you release it, it does a little bit of a short hop at the start before dashing off. Be careful when you release the button towards the edge or off the stage. If you don't have an extra jump to bail you out, it's a one-way trip to Wreck City. Like I said earlier in this segment, they make great setup for follow-up moves like the pre-mentioned air attacks, and rushing your opponents is a snap. That being said, it's my #1 most predictable move of all. If you constantly use this move back to back without some restraint, you'll get red faster than a $1 menu. Here's my basic advice. Don't spam the dash attacks! Now I know it sounds hard, but trust me, I know you can do it. Plus you'll benefit a lot more in the match if you're less predictable to read than a rollaholic. What? I said it was basic advice, not rocket science, sheesh. Just to be clear, I'm not telling you not to use the move. Just don't overuse it. Now this is just my personal opinion. Everyone's got their own playstyle, so use whatever works for you. Up B. It's one of the best vertical recovery moves in the game. Doing this move on top of someone can score some extra knockback damage if they hit your falling spring. Also, you can even ledge guard with it, but only if they're somewhere underneath the stage. Neutral B. My other iconic move, the homing attack. Now if you played any of my latest games, my latest games, oh, you little, that's better. Then you know what it can do, so there's not really much I can say that I haven't covered over 1,000 times already. However, if there's one thing I haven't mentioned, is you can use the homing attack to recover when you don't have any jumps left, and you're too far from the stage for up B to reach. Again, it also makes a good follow-up move as well. But check your distance. If you're a little out of range from your opponent, the homing attack won't lock on, then. Whew, well anyways, that's all for the basics. Now let's get into some finishing moves. Now unlike my Brawl days, I have a lot more options to score knockouts aside from just... Here are a few other finishers that might come in handy. I was thinking of splitting this into 2 categories, with the only difference being one's better than the other, but the overall results are pretty much the same either way, so I've decided to just put them together. First, I'll talk about the lesser half of the two, spring spiking. You'll need to run off the stage and up B as close to the ledge as possible. Make sure you run off the edge of the stage before using up B, or you'll launch yourself with the spring planted into the ground. This will mostly work on pineapple stages like Dreamland 64, Final Destination, Smashville, you get the picture. The timing is very precise, so you'll need to drop the spring when they're very close to the ledge, or when they're using up B from a certain angle of the stage. Be careful though, certain characters' up Bs can negate your spring drop like Ike and Samus, teleport like Zelda and Mewtwo, or reflect it back at you like Pit and Fox. Another way you can spring spike them is if they're holding onto the ledge for too long when their ledge grab invincibility wears off. Now unlike spring spiking, the back air stage spike is a bit easier to nail. You just need to line up your hits with a sweet spot of the stage and they'll drop faster than Eggman's winning streak.
Hey! I take offense to that!
Give me a break, Doc. 2016 was yesterday ago, so get over it.
Just you wait until Project 17 comes out this year! Then you'll be sorry, you little blue pest!
Huh, I can't wait. Anyways, if you don't get it just right, you'll either overshoot it, bounce him off the edge, or in some cases, knock him underneath. Which is okay, unless the character can air hover or have more than one move to recover with. But don't relax just yet. There's still a chance they can gimp out of it. Especially on stages like Wrecking Crew Omega. They'll have a higher chance of gimping since it has a much larger surface area. Neutral knockout. Man, even my neutraler can score knockouts now. I'm so buff I might need to be nerfed. No, wait, hold on, it was just a joke, bro! I was kidding! When you damage your opponents to 150% or higher, you can take them out from the highest point of your double jump. You can also finish them off when they reach around 175% by using the neutral dash combination. After a dash attack, tap A here. Then again at this point. Then the rest is history. Rocket Launch! When you damage your opponents to around 100%, use up throw to up B and then quickly up air. If you do it just right, you can land the finishing blow while they're stunned. But they can still DI out of the way, so keep your eyes peeled. If you take too long, they'll regain the ability to spot dodge and you'll miss your chance. If their damage is 110% or higher, you can probably still land a hit if you jump to up B to catch up. But depending on the stage and how much damage you've done, it's not going to be a solid guarantee. In some cases, you can even finish them off around 70% damage if you're rage boosted, or if you land 2 up airs in a row. Okay, time for the last segment. Let's talk about tricks. Now, if you've seen my previous spin dash tutorial video from a few years ago, you probably know about dash canceling, dash hopping, and the jet dash. You mean spin shot. Shut up, assist trophy! But just in case, I'll briefly go over 2 of them. As for the jet dash, I'm gonna change how to perform this move since it's a little tricky to pull off here. Dash canceling. This trick is really easy to pull off. Just perform the side dash, then push the guard button. This will only work with side dash, not spin dash. Also, don't hold side dash for too long or you won't be able to cancel out of it. Dash hopping. By tapping the jump button while in side dash mode, you can hop and move around without worrying about being stuck in one place. Just be careful not to jump off the stage, unless you like free falling your socks away. Jet dash. Oh man, where to start? As difficult as this trick is to pull off, it's pretty good for recovering as well as for pulling off surprise air attacks. Back in the last tutorial, I showed you 2 methods on how to pull this trick off. But in this game, there's a 3rd option. I'm sure there's probably an easier way, but this is how I do it. First, you're gonna need to set the speed to half. Jump and then go into spin dash while rapidly tapping the B button. Keep holding down the thumbstick until you start to go down, then quickly push up. If you don't get it the first few times, try changing the timing on when to push up on the thumbstick until you finally get it. Perform this trick back to back until you've got the hang of it. Then increase the speed to 2/3 and repeat the process until you feel ready to do this in normal speed. Now the second method is pretty much the same thing, the only difference being the last input. Release both the thumbstick and B button and then quickly push the jump button before you start to move. This method is a little easier to time with the jump button. Now this last method is probably the easiest to pull off in my opinion. Just jump like you did in the last 2 methods, but instead of the spin dash, you're using side dash this time. When you release the button, whichever direction you're facing, move the thumbstick to the upper corner of that direction, and that's pretty much it. Alright, let's get into the last 2 dash tricks. They're a piece of cake, so this won't take long. Dash Launcher! To do this trick, just rev up your spin dash, then quickly push up on the thumbstick. It's pretty good for getting in close with most projectile spammers. Ricochet Hop! You can use either dash attack moves for this one. While dashing, push the jump button, then move the thumbstick in the opposite direction you're heading to, and then jump again. It's a good way to confuse your opponents, and if you do this on top of them while in the air, you can footstool them as well. That's all the spin tricks I know. Now let's move on to the next trick. Now if you know about pivot grabs, then this will be easier than running away from Amy.
What was that, Sonic?
Nothing, Amy. Don't tell her I said that. Anyways, for those of you that don't know, it basically works like this. Start running to one side, then quickly move the thumbstick in the opposite direction while pushing the grab button simultaneously. You got all that? Good, because that's exactly how you perform the pivot smash. Just replace grab with the attack button and you're good to go. You can even charge it up like a normal forward smash. To do pivot tilt, all you need to do is push the attack button the second after you turn. You can also use the grab button as well. Now in terms of use, I don't have a clue. I just came across this trick myself during one of my practice sessions for the video. I guess it's good for a surprise attack since I haven't seen anyone else pull this off yet, so there's that. Now I'll teach you the Daredevil Dive Kick, or the 3DK for short. Now this is more of a gamble than a 100% guaranteed survival trick, so use this at your own risk. First, jump off the edge of the stage and go into a down air. Next, start tapping the jump button to stop yourself from going too low. Lastly, from the momentum of your second jump, go into an upbeat. Now depending on the stage, a lot could go wrong, but that could be just me. Still, be careful. Now if you still want to do this trick, go for it. Just make sure you have an extra stock to spare. Now I've got one last trick up my sleeve, because those chili dogs aren't going to chow down on themselves. So let's get right to it. Originally, I called this trick the homing recovery. Of course, this was back when the multi-homing attack was still a thing. The homing gambit is a really tricky move, and in order to pull it off, 3 conditions must be met. First, you must be somewhere between the ledge and the pineapple zone. Second, your opponent must be near or at the very edge of the stage. And last, you'll need to line yourself up at a certain angle to your opponent while staying in homing attack range. Once these conditions are met, here's what you need to do. First, make your way towards the ledge until you reach the bottom of the screen. Then use the homing attack to lock on towards your opponent. When you hit the stage, use the momentum to push yourself a little further until you're safely out of the pineapple zone. Then quickly up-B yourself to the ledge before you fall too far out of reach. When you use up the last jump and you're stuck underneath the pineapple stage with up-B as your only option, this is a good and unexpected last resort to put you back in the fight. That's all for this tutorial video. I hope I shed some light on any new Sonic mains out there. Thanks for watching. Now if you excuse me, there's a chili cheese dog with my name on it?
This'll be easier than running away from Amy.
Is there something you're not telling me?
Oh, Amy. Where'd you find that? It was a gift from the assist trophy. Gee, thanks a lot, Shadow. You're a real pal, you know that?
Now, my darling Sonic. It's not really Shadow's fault, now is it?
Now just hold on, Amy. Give me a sec. I can explain everything.
Alright, Sonic, explain yourself. Then you can take me out on a date tonight. Get your butt back here right now, Sonic the Hedgehog!
Show's over.